Good morning children. Welcome back to the session Movement of Materials Across the Cell Membrane Part 3. In previous class we have studied about different types of membranes: permeable membrane, impermeable membrane, selectively permeable membrane. Permeable membrane means the membrane which allows both the solvent and solute to pass through them is called permeable membrane. Impermeable membrane means the membrane which does not allow the solutes as well as the solvents to pass through them is called impermeable membrane. Now coming to the selectively permeable membrane, it selects the specified solutes and solvents to pass through them. We call it as selectively permeable membrane. Today let us discuss about the activity on the process of osmosis. Osmosis means movement of molecules from the low concentration to high concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. We call it as osmosis. And let us do a small activity on the process of osmosis. To do this osmosis activity, we need a membrane called semi-permeable membrane that we will discuss in the next activity. First, let us take a beaker, fill the beaker with dilute, fill the beaker with dilute hydrochloric acid. If this dilute hydrochloric acid is not available, we can use toilet cleaner also, or toilet acid also. What are the materials needed for this activity? 2 raw eggs, beaker, spoon, dilute hydrochloric acid. Now take a beaker, fill the beaker with dilute hydrochloric acid, place 2 eggs in the dilute hydrochloric acid and leave it for 4 to 5 hours. 4 to 5 hours. And we already know egg has a hard shell around it, and this hard shell is made up of calcium carbonate. Beneath this hard shell there is a membrane. Inside the egg, yolk and white is present. So now what happened when you place this egg in a dilute hydrochloric acid for 4 to 5 hours, the shell which contains calcium carbonate dissolves in this hydrochloric acid, hydrochloric acid, leaving behind the egg membrane, only the shell will dissolve and egg membrane will be present on it. Now slowly take out these 2 eggs with the help of spoon, wash it under the tap water carefully and wipe it with a dry cloth. Now take these 2 eggs. You can see very soft egg without shell. Now take these 2 eggs, take 2 beakers, fill one of the beaker with salt solution, another beaker with water. Now place these 2 eggs in 2 beakers. Beaker A consists of salt solution, beaker B consists of water. Now place these 2 eggs without shell in both the beakers and wait it for 2 to 4 hours. After 2 to 4 hours, in the beaker A, you observe the size of the cell has been shrink. And beaker B, the size of the egg has become swollen or the volume of the egg has become increased. What reason? What phenomenon has taken place between beaker A and beaker B? So first we will discuss about beaker A. See here the salt solution is in 1 concentration. Inside the egg is a living cell, and inside the egg cytoplasm will be there, and the cytoplasm has different concentration. Due to difference in the concentration, what happened? The water that is present in the cytoplasm of the eggshell has entered into the salt solution. And this phenomenon is called as exoosmosis. What we call it? Exoosmosis. Why this cell has been shrinked? Because the water that is present in the cell of the egg has entered into the salt solution. So the egg has been shrink. And this process in which the water molecule leave the cell is called exoosmosis. What we call this phenomenon? Exoosmosis. Why it is called as exoosmosis? Exo means to leave out, to come out. So why the size of the egg has been shrink? Because the water that is present inside the egg cells have entered into the salt solution, and this process is called exoosmosis. Now let us discuss about this beaker. The egg has become swollen. Why the size of the egg has been increased? And why? Because here another process has taken place that is called endoosmosis. What we call it? Endoosmosis. The process in which water molecule enter the cell. water molecule enter the cell. This process is called endoosmosis. So due to endoosmosis, the size of the egg has been increased. The water, there is a difference in the concentration. The concentration of water is different to that of the concentration of cytoplasm in the egg cells. They both have different concentration. When there is a different concentration, osmosis will takes place. So we discuss about two types of osmosis: exoosmosis, endoosmosis. In the case of exoosmosis, the size of the cells will shrink. In the case of endoosmosis, the size of the cell increases. See, you have seen day-to-day life activities. The vegetables when they are dry, flowers when they are dry, your mom used to keep them in a beaker of water or in a trough of water so that they came to the normal position. Why they come to, they again they come to the normal position. Why they are getting like that? Because of endoosmosis. The water molecules enters into the cells of leaves and flowers and they blossom. And this process is called endoosmosis. What we call this process? Endoosmosis. Now in exoosmosis also you can take a live example. When you swim, when you play in the seashore and all, your cells of your fingers and hands will shrink. Why? Because exoosmosis will takes place. Salt water has more concentration compared to the cytoplasm in your cells. So the water loses and you develop wrinkles on your fingers. Now let us discuss another activity, how to prepare a semi-permeable membrane. For this same activity, also we need a egg, we need a beaker, we need a spoon, we need a dilute hydrochloric acid. Take a beaker, fill the beaker with hydrochloric acid or place the egg, pour hydrochloric acid on the beaker, into the beaker and wait it for 4 to 5 years. After 4 to 5 years, the shell slowly dissolves into the hydrochloric acid, leaving behind the egg membrane. Take out the egg very slowly with the help of a spoon. Wash it under the tap water. After washing it, take this egg and pierce a pencil-sized hole into the membrane. Pencil-sized hole into the membrane. Now drain out all the content, white and yellow yolk, from this egg. And after draining out, you get only the membrane. Now take that membrane, clean the membrane under tap water and your semi-permeable membrane is ready. With the help of this semi-permeable membrane, we can conduct activities on osmosis. Already we discussed this is the activity on osmosis, and with the membrane also we can do so many activities, and this semi-permeable membrane is ready. Once again I will tell you, take a beaker, fill the beaker with hydrochloric acid, drop the egg into the beaker and wait for 4 to 5 years. After 4 to 5 years, the shell get dissolved into the hydrochloric acid. Egg shell is made up of calcium carbonate. Slowly it dissolves and take it out after 4 to 5 years. Clean it under the tap water, pierce a hole into it, drain out the egg content, and your semi-permeable membrane, egg membrane is ready. With the help of this membrane, you can conduct activities based on the osmosis. All this activity, when the school reopens, children, we can do directly in our lab. Now let us discuss what is the importance of osmosis. What is its role in our life, or what is the role in the living organism. One more thing I can say, this osmosis takes place only in the living cells. We cannot come across osmosis in dead cells. So now first, absorption of water from roots. Roots have small tiny heads called root heads, and root heads are made up of cells, and there is cytoplasm in the cells. Difference in the concentration of cytoplasm in the cell, difference in the water. See, when we water the plants in the soil, the water will become a solution in the soil. Difference in the solutions, the water will be absorbed into the root system. Then transport of water from one cell to another cell. After root, the water should be transported to leaves, stem, etc. And this transportation of water also takes place through osmosis. Not only osmosis, some other phenomena are also seen for a upward movement of water that we will discuss in class 10th. Now, exchange of material between two cells. The material should be passed from one cell to another cell. Already we discussed. And that transport of material from one cell to another cell is also nothing but the process of osmosis. Difference in the concentration help for the movement of water or other materials. Then absorption of nutrients in villi. Already I said that the food is digested and the villi are made up of specialized cells and which have one cell thickness, and that food material will be directly enters into the villi by the process of osmosis. From the villi, the blood will be transported to various parts of the body and reaches each and every cell. Now coming to the excretion, the waste material, so many waste materials are formed in our body. They will be filtered in the kidney and then they will be eliminated. If they are not eliminated, they become toxic and lead to the death of the person. The filtration of waste material that takes place in the kidneys is nothing but the process of osmosis. In your home, the water filters also worked on the principle called osmosis or reverse osmosis. Now there is another process called diffusion, which helps for the movement of materials. Both osmosis and diffusion play a very important in the movement of materials. Now let us do a small activity to know about diffusion. Take a beaker, fill the beaker with water. Now add drops of crystals of potassium permanganate crystals. KMnO4 stands for potassium permanganate. You add these crystals, slowly the crystals started dissolving in water, and this violet color crystals are the violet color is uniformly distributed through the media, and this process is called diffusion. What we call this process? Diffusion. When you add potassium permanganate crystals, they slowly dissolve in the water. They dissolve until we get a complete purple color in the beaker. The substances are uniformly distributed through media. Media is here water. Here the substance potassium permanganate uniformly distributed or dissolved in water. This process is called diffusion. Diffusion means the movement of molecules or ions from higher concentration to lower concentration. Here the concentration of potassium permanganate is more in the crystals. Here the water is in low concentration. So the potassium permanganate molecules move from higher concentration to lower concentration till the concentration become uniform. That process is called diffusion. Diffusion also play a very major role in our day-to-day life. See, in diffusion, the best example you can take, when you open the lid of the perfume bottle, the perfume in a room, the perfume will be uniformly diffused in the room, uniformly spread from high concentration to lower concentration. Not only perfume, the aroma that you get while cooking the food is also involved in the process of diffusion. The smells, see, whenever you open the phenol bottle also, the smell spreads uniformly in the media. That process is called diffusion. Coffee filter, see, in the coffee, when you add a drop of coffee powder into the water, the coffee powder crystals uniformly distributed in the media. This process is called diffusion. Diffusion plays also a very major role. All the gases diffused into our body from higher concentration to lower concentration. Diffusion means movement of molecules from higher concentration to lower concentration till the concentration becomes equal is called diffusion. Both osmosis and diffusion process plays a very major role in the transport of material across the cell membrane. Thank you, children. We'll meet you in the next session with another new topic.